What's going on?
Hello, Daniel. Thank you for calling. What are your thoughts this morning?
Um, I'm in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It just rained for the first time in over 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
We had beautiful blue skies for the last 30 days, and it made me think of something. Somebody heard somebody say one time, racism is like the weather. You can shield yourself from the storm, but the rain's still gonna fall. And I
Okay.
just thought, you know, is there a real big racial divide in this country? Yeah, at times, but are we really going to let it affect us? Can we stand up to these things and, just try to love our neighbor?
Well, that's a great question. Who's the we in this scenario?
I'm talking about everybody. I mean,
Well, because you're asking a question about a racial divide, it implies that it's not everybody because there are some who benefit from the racial divide and seek to exacerbate it. So are you talking we, people of color, who are victimized by the racial divide? Are you saying we Americans who observe a racial divide, whether or not it actually negatively impacts us or we're a beneficiary thereof? Give us some specificity if you could.
I guess my whole I don't even know what my point is, but like I
Okay.
hear everybody, not everybody, but I hear all the rhetoric that say Donald Trump is a racist. And I sit back and I listen to what the guy says and I look at what he does and I just don't see it.
Okay, so I appreciate your honesty. This is not a show for racism 101. You may want to do some actual news vetting. You may want to check some sources. You may want to and not and I always suggest to people that you do so by going incognito before you start searching because it sounds as though if you're searching according to this platform or according to this perspective, you're only going to get information and sources given back to you that are reflective of search terms you've already entered. But my team has just pulled up a nifty little list for just this occasion, and we can start with Trump's racist historical timeline. So this will be really quick, or not. 1973, the Nixon administration sued Donald Trump for refusing to rent to black people. That was a federal lawsuit because he, again, refused to rent to black people. In the 1980s, his casinos were accused of hiding black staff whenever Trump visited because Trump didn't actually want to see the people who were doing the work of keeping his failing casinos going. They were only failing because of him, not because of the staff. In 1989, Donald Trump took out a full-page ad that argued for the death penalty for 5 boys that essentially put a bounty on their head and plagued them with a lifetime of death threats. 1991, he says, black guys counting my money, I hate it. I think the black guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. It really is. 1992, his casino is fined $200,000 for transferring black dealers off of certain tables to appease racist patrons. 2004, Donald Trump fires a black contestant from The Apprentice for being overeducated. 2011, he alleges that President Obama was Kenyan based on nothing but his skin color. 2017, he asked a reporter to set up a meeting with the Black Caucus because she was black. 2017, said people from Haiti all have AIDS. People from Nigeria would never go back to their huts after seeing America, in addition to calling them shithole countries. In 2019, he tweets that 4 black and brown congresswomen should go back to where they came from. 2020, he says the police officer who shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times were just having a bad day like a golfer who misses a simple putt. 2020, he tells white supremacist group Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. He is the endorsed candidate. Thank you so much to the team. He's been endorsed by David Duke. He's been endorsed by white supremacist organizations. He's been endorsed by the Proud Boys. He's been endorsed by militias who are in alignment with white Christian nationalism. He's been endorsed by the progenitors of Project 2025. So whether you think he's racist or not is of little consequence in light of the history of racism that has been well documented for those who are actually engaged in the discourse or looking to find actual information on that regard. I hope that answered your question for you, Daniel. We got a lot of other callers on the line. We're going to get to them again. This is not Racism 101, but I'm doing you a solid here and just giving you an answer to a very basic question that has concrete, verifiable, fact-checked, historically grounded responses. So it feels as though like you're calling up here to waste time. And if you were being sincere, I appreciate it. But this is not a space to educate people on the basis of things, on the basics of things that you can readily find out on your own. Thank you so much for playing, though. Appreciate you. Let's